Hi folks, I'm smoking a pipe given to me by Professor Jeremiah. It's a lovely smoker, and in it I've got some pirate plug from Clint, who sent me some when he sent me my GAW winnings, and it's lovely. Sorry, I won't be a second. This is to G O Gecko for his GAW giveaway. First of all, you ask about an animal encounter, and that's a difficult one in a way. There are two there's one that I've mentioned in a video before, and that was when we went to Sandown Zoo on the Isle of Wight, and we went into the reptile house, and the guy who was looking after the reptiles came across and put I think it was a python round our necks, or I always get the other or a boa constrictor. I'm not sure which it was now, I forget. But it was a big snake. You know, you sort of stood there with your arms out, try to hold the head while it's tightening up around your neck. That was quite spectacular because we weren't expecting it. But the encounter I want to use is when I was much younger and we went to Whipsonade Zoo, which is part of the Zoological Gardens, London Zoo. It's sort of the zoo outside London that they use. And one of my favourite animals is a wolf. And they had quite a wolf collection there. And of course, you know, you're not allowed to go in with the wolves, but we were allowed to get pretty close. There was a keeper there, and he had some wolves in an area, and he went in, and we were just outside watching, and they just fascinate me. I just think they are wonderful animals, and I still remember it now, how exciting it was to sort of be close to these wolves, close enough. If I wanted to have done, I could have put my hand through the wire and touched them, but we were good little boys and we didn't, which was probably the best thing. But I just love to hear wolves in the wild calling. I think it's the most eerie sound, and it's one of the iconic sort of chill sounds. But the other thing that impresses me about wolves is the way they work as a pack. The leader doesn't lead the pack. He goes at the back of the pack when they're hunting to make sure everything's all right behind and to collect sort of any casualties or anything like that. Or so I'm told. I mean, you probably know a lot better than me about that. But if I could, I'd just love to be in the wild near some wolves, and try and get to know them a bit better. I hope that's okay, those two. The other encounter that I had is I did have a pet snake, a corn snake, and it was, I mean, you may wonder what an encounter was with the corn snake. Well, on this particular day, it was a Sunday, and my wife was the vicar of the church next door. And all the little kids wanted to see the snake. So I took them back to the house and got the snake out. And it got between two belt loops. Now, God knows how it did it, but you know, you can imagine this snake sort of getting through one belt loop and then getting through another belt loop, but then it got stuck. It couldn't go forward or backwards. There wasn't a lot I could do because I couldn't take my trousers off in front of all these kids. But the snake got scared and it messed itself right down my leg. Now, snake poo is not pleasant. It's wet, runny, and very, very smelly. And these children were wetting themselves. They were laughing so much that they were virtually rolling on the floor. And in the end, I managed to get one of them to rush to my wife and come to my rescue. He sort of rushed into the church and said, you've got to come, the snake's pooed all over Stephen. And she came and got the kids out while I undid my belt and released the snake, which was none the worse for wear. But it was a lovely creamsicle cord snake, quite long, about 4 foot at the time. A lovely snake, but that was an encounter I didn't want to happen again, so I was much more careful when I got him out and made sure I kept hold of his head so he didn't get into any more trouble. But he was quite a clever snake. He had the habit of sort of getting out of his vivarium. You know, even when it was locked and I thought everything's safe, we'd wake up in the morning and find the snake sort of laying on top of the fireplace. Although one day we didn't find it at all. And then later on in the day, Carolyn opened a drawer to put some of her clothes in it. And there it was, curled up on her knickers. So after that, the poor snake got banned from getting out ever again. But those are my encounters with animals. I can still remember the wolves. You know, it's one of those sort of strange things that you see as a child and you remember forever. An encounter my mother had was with a fox. We lived in the country and we had an outside toilet. And this big male fox, she was sat there with the door open because nobody was going to see her. Or so she thought. And then round the corner came this very, very beautiful fox. You know, in prime condition, sort of tail up. And as he walked past, he just sort of looked at her and then wandered off. But anyway, I just want to say how much I enjoy your page, your videos and your stories about the animals that you've been with and that kind of thing. You know, big cats and that, I think are just very, very magnificent, but very, very potentially dangerous. And the two oddities that I've seen, I have actually seen a ligon and a tigon and a liger, cross between a lion and a tiger, and a cross between a tiger and a lion. And that was at a zoo called Bellevue Zoo in Manchester when it was opened. Anyway, all the best for your future subs, and just keep the site coming. It's well worth it. I just love it and like the stories, as I say. So I'm going to ask a blessing, as I always do, even though I'm never sure whether I believe in God or not. But if you believe in God, then may your God go with you. May his blessing fall upon you. May he strengthen you with his love. May he bring you all those things that you would desire. And may he never let go of your hand. Sorry about the cough.